Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hey, do me a favor really quick. Make sure that notification button is hit. For some reason, YouTube keeps unclicking it from you guys, so you guys aren't receiving my notifications. So this is what's going on. Today, I'll be making the 4-hour trip there and back, so it's going to be an 8-hour trip. It's a P-pump conversion kit for a 24-valve Cummins. I'm checking online for some of these kits, and they've been ranging anywhere between $2,500 to $2,700, and that's not even including the P-pump itself. So I think I'm getting a pretty good deal at $2,500. So definitely worth the 8-hour trip, I guess, to do this. And not only that, I'll be amongst friends. So just to get you guys up to speed, I just rescued a 1999 Dodge Cummins from a parking lot, and it's just a rusted mess. And I'm going to be basically restoring this thing from the ground up in my garage. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to outsource parts right now. I'm trying to get everything in line, and I'm hoping to hit at least 700 to 1,000 horsepower. Who knows? Possibly looking at like an S300 and an S400. I'm not going to reveal the sizes. Huge shout out to Ryan's Diesel Service, by the way. And one more thing before we head to the shop. Some of this language is going to be totally foreign to you when it comes to some of the diesel parts that we're going to be talking about. So let me lay this out to you guys really quick. VP44, P-pump, what the heck is all that stuff? 1998.5 to 2002 24-valve Dodge Cummins. They are supplied with a VP44, it's called. It's actually a diesel injection pump. And what that does is it supplies diesel fuel to your injectors. That's what that unit does. The issue with the VP44 is it is sort of limited. That's going to be the biggest key right there when it comes to the horsepower. Now, I know a lot of guys in the Cummins world actually run the P-pump conversions. And what that means is they basically take the P-pump, which is another injection pump, off of a first-generation Cummins. So to provide more power, of course, guys are going to run these P7100 injection pumps from a first-generation Cummins. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this Cummins, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys exactly the parts that I'm picking up today. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get this done. So let's go ahead and get to the shop, and I'll go ahead and let you guys listen to that Ryan's Diesel Service turbo. What is up, guys? Thanks so much for stopping by at the channel. Today we're here at Killer Diesel Performance in Moreland, Indiana. Made the trip. It was about a 4-hour trip. And I don't know if you guys remember Dylan. He actually has a YouTube channel as well.
Dirty Diamond Diesel.
Dirty Diamond Diesel. Yeah. So make sure you check him out. As a matter of fact, he's got his camera right there. So he's going to be making a YouTube video on this as well. So make sure you guys head over to his channel if you want to get a different perspective on what we have going on here today. Dylan actually reached out to me because I am desperately looking for some sort of alternative other than a VP44 on the 24-valve junk Cummins that I'm building in the garage, because that's exactly what it is. But it's gonna be beautiful when I'm done with it. It's probably gonna beat the LB7 in a race.
Yeah, I'd confidently say it probably will. What you're gonna do to it, man, it's going to be a really comparable truck for sure. It might not drive as nice as the LB7, but you're going to have a lot of fun with it.
I think I'm going to have too much fun with it.
That's the plan, man.
Especially if I amp it up a little more, like we were talking about before I walked in here. We were talking about, so what if I turn 1,200 horsepower? Well, while I'm already in it, I'm already considering a tow cam, so you know, it's a few other little goodies, you know. Like,
yeah, I mean, the opportunities are really endless, but I mean, I think you really made a good decision going with the P-pump over the VP, strictly because you're going to be happy with it for a while, but you're always going to want to push it more, and just being able to start with a P-pump, it's going to give you, I mean, VP, you're going to be able to make 700-800 horse, but it already sounds like you're confident you're going to potentially go over that one day, so a P-pump, getting it all set up for it would be a much better option, especially with compounds.
It's gonna get nuts, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. I have Derek here. He's co-owner, partner, family-owned business here. If you guys are interested in any diesel work, make sure you check him out here in Indiana. Oh, look at this 6.5. This is super nice.
It's pretty old 6.5. Pretty good.
No kidding, man. It looks like somebody really took care of this. So what's this one in for?
Fuel leak, water leak, and that's it, really.
This is someone's baby. So what's the story on this powerful 6.7 Power Stroke?
They were driving down the road and it started white smoking, and then they shut off and it would not start. Well, I pulled the pan the other day and it's got rod bearings in the pan. So we're going to be putting a motor in that before too long here. Motor swaps, all kinds of stuff here. I mean, head gaskets, injectors, CP4s, I mean, whatever is wrong with your truck, we'll do it. Ford, Dodge, Chevy, Volkswagen, we do it all.
What is the most common vehicle that comes in here?
6.0, 6.4, and Duramax.
I know you just talked about that.
Ford's most, but usually 05. We're about to do head gaskets on 06. Not a lot of the older ones. We did just replace a piston in 2015. It had a blown piston. Actually, it's right here if you want to check it out. We just replaced this piston in this 2015. There's a hole right here.
Oh, wow.
We just did that last month, I think.
The common stuff that Duramaxes normally would have. What are you guys seeing with the Fords coming in?
The 6.7 seems like a pretty good platform. We've replaced a couple motors in them, but the 6.4 and the 6.0, they're definitely the worst. We replace rockers on 6.4s at least twice a month. I mean,
how many customers come in wanting a single turbo versus the sequential turbos on the 6.4s?
we haven't really had very many of them, but most of them around here, we're out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of them are farmers. They just want their truck to go down the road and run.
Sure.
But every now and then we get some customers that come in, want some performance and stuff.
What kind of problems do you commonly see with the Cummins in general coming in here? Is it really the transmissions, I'm guessing?
Usually oil leaks.
Oil leaks, I'm not kidding you. We've had multiple come in. They're usually serviced. There's one sitting out back right now that has 700,000 miles on it. It's 08. It's in for an oil leak. It has stock injectors, stock CP3, head's never been off. And we run into that a lot with these farmers. I mean, they come in and they just have oil leaks. They don't like it leaking.
I always get these questions about people asking for diesel shops in their local community. To be honest with you, I really don't know. But, it's always good to be able to support the American small business owners. And when I get an opportunity to do that, I definitely do that. So, as a matter of fact, Dylan is actually a representative of AirDog.
I do all the digital marketing, AirDog, social media ads, YouTube videos, Facebook ads, all that stuff is basically my main responsibilities at AirDog, which we've done before. If you guys remember last time I was on your channel, we did a pump giveaway, so that was pretty cool. And I think we've actually done a couple now, so
yeah,
we always love to support, be able to give back to your channel as well for watching.
Again, we're talking about American businesses here in the US of A, and I always like to support them. So huge shout out to AirDog as well. And as far as I'm concerned, it's not just because he's my buddy and whatever. I've had a lot of experiences with both pumps, and I think they're both equally great in their own aspect, in their own right. However, I've seen less problematic issues with their pumps, with AirDog's pumps versus the competitors. So I always like to say, when you guys ask me questions, what's the pump to go after? It's definitely going to be AirDog. All right, Derek, so what do we have here?
We have a stock 180 pump, maxed out with a rack plug, 4K governor springs, and full cut delivery valves, stock gear, 200 horsepower injectors.
Do you know what brand that is?
I think they're DAP.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure. We have all the fittings and stuff to put the pump on. We have a custom spacer plate my buddy made Mason. You guys probably seen him. We have a GNR billet tappet cover to keep all your oil leaks from going, and then we have the 12 valve stock cover. Then we had a Scheid 93 lines and a custom return for the back of the head and the injection pump for the flow return.
So I'm giving him $2,500 for this entire kit. I think it's a steal, to be honest with you, because if I was to go and outsource all of this stuff, I actually tried, and it is extremely expensive. As a matter of fact, I keep saying VP44, this P pump right here is probably going to go for anything in upwards of about $1,200 to $1,300. I could be wrong. That's sort of what I saw for a used one, and you already have this all set up.
Yeah, this right here is actually $300, and these lines are almost $700 or a little over $700.
I'm looking at doing a P pump conversion on a 24 valve. Now, the one that we're going to be installing this kit on is going to be on a 99 Dodge Cummins. Now, we had a lot of debates versus the VP44 versus the P pump option. And since I have a Cummins guy here, actually we have a lot of them here, I'd like to know, would this be a better option for me versus upgrading the VP44 if I'm trying to lay down some stupid power? And stupid power to me is going to be something 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, it'd be a way better platform because, I mean, a VP, you can spend $3,000 to make 800-900 horse, but a P pump, you can make, it's endless. I mean, you make 2,000 horsepower. I mean, power driven to make more than that.
The other cool thing is that the swap that you're getting from Derek has the GNR tap cover in it, so
you won't have any more oil leaks.
Yeah, well, the stock ones, they have just like a little rubber gasket that goes around the outside of it, and you can change it, but you start bumping the timing up, making a lot of crankcase pressure. It's not going to be able to breathe out of it as well as one of these, and it's going to blow the gasket out. And guess what? To change that, you're taking the pump off, and they're not very fun to take on and off all the time. And he's also got you set up with, I think they're Shide. The Shide 093 injection lines, and then there's even a little custom. This is a return line set up, so he'll be able to go to the back of his head, to his P pump, and then tie that into his factory fuel lines. A custom block that Mason actually made. A lot of this stuff came off my thumb as well, which I sold to Derek.
Yeah, he sold it.
He ran for a while. And this is nice because normally you'll have to run the grid heater and then a spacer block, but with this you can just set this right on your head, and then he obviously set you up with a stock gear, but I think you said you were going to go with an adjustable one.
Just the timing on the stock gear, you have to pull the front cover off and break this loose and then turn it by hand. And the aftermarket gear that power driven sells, was it power driven that you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's power driven. You just take the front little breather case off and then you can adjust it from there. So you save a lot of time if you want to adjust your timing.
On top of that, it's really common for these to slip timing, like super common. So this is tapered shaft. So this right here tightens onto this pump, and when you hear people say, well, I think it slipped time, what their meaning is this gear right here actually spun on that shaft. And a lot of times they'll do it enough to where they'll still run, but they'll just white smoke. And it basically, whenever it does it, it retards it more likely than it's going to advance it. So it'll still run, it's just not going to make any power, it's going to spit and sputter. But with the one you're going to get, I don't know if I can spin this pump or not, there's a keyway on that shaft.
So it's kind of like the VP44 in a way. It's got a keyway on it.
You're going to have two pieces. The first piece is going to slide on there, you're going to tighten that nut, and then you're going to have like 100 bolt holes that go around it, and then you just basically can adjust your timing, lock your bolt in. And if you want to adjust your timing, you don't have to, like Derek said, pull the cover back off or pull the breather cover back off. You can just pop the cover off. It'll give you a little access plate, and then you can just pull the pin out, turn the motor over, and then it's usually like 2 degrees for each bolt hole. So it's really easy if you're at the track messing with it or something. And because, you know, as we know, the more timing you have it, it's just going to keep making more power until it stops. So that's one really nice thing that you can do.
What's this bracket go to?
You'll have this on your VP44 too, but it'll be a different style bracket. So you want to take that off and put this one on, and this helps support the back of this huge pump. I mean, this thing is not light. So you have 2 bolts that go through here, and it just helps support it in the back. And I also hook you up with the oil feed. You have to rob your VP truck will just have an oil line going to the vacuum pump. This fitting right here will let you, and this oil line will let you run oil to this, because you have to run oil to these pumps because they're not lubricated by diesel like this factory VP44 is.
I really appreciate that, man. I know that the 12 valves have a different timing cover. This is exactly why we're doing this cover right here, because this is naturally going to come from the first generation Cummins. If I was to put the same timing cover that I had that goes to that VP44, it just won't work because of the gear and the way this thing actually sits up on there, the way everything's mounted. Overall opinion on the Duramax?
I've actually had an LB7. I don't dog Duramax at all. Right behind Cummins, man. It's got to be Duramax. I like working on them. I feel like they're laid out really well.
So see, with the Cummins, this is how I feel. A stock Cummins, you get in it, it's a dog. I've seen this time and time again. But with that being said, you get into a stock Duramax platform, and it'll really put you in your seat in a stock application.
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about the 4th gen Cummins now. Those things are beasts. Yeah. Those things really pull. But then again, I've driven the L5Ps multiple times, and those are very impressive in a stock platform. But like I said, when we're throwing power at it, and I've said this before, the Duramax versus Cummins video, which I'm sure a lot of you guys watched, when it comes to really producing real power and actually having fun with these trucks, less issues are going to go on internally with that engine than there would be with a Duramax. And I've seen this time and time again.
To an extent.
But then again,
to an extent.
But then again, I'm not a sellout, guys. I still love my Chevys because I have 2 Duramaxes right now, and I love them, and I'll never get rid of them.
I mean,
so Derek, what's going on with this princess over here?
we're doing a full build.
Really?
Yeah, she's rust free. I'm about ready to cut the rust out the grinder.
Well, you said you were going to sell the box for $20, right?
I'm not kidding you right now.
Wow.
That guy's clearly just get out of my way.
If the guy falls through on buying your box for $20, and you're watching this video, make sure you check these guys out.
Yeah, if you guys need a long box for $20, you can come pick it up. You pick the whole truck up for like $100.
There you go. But in all seriousness, you have it's a 5.9 common rail, and would this be your first time actually owning one and going forward with a build?
No, I'm not built a bunch of trucks, but I've had plenty of Cummins over the years. I mean, I probably had 24 at least.
Wow.
Totaled trucks, flooded trucks. I mean, I P-pumped that one, my 99 I've had since I was 15. I've done a lot of work to them. I mean, work on them day in, day out here.
What's your overall goal with this one?
This is just a donor truck for the motor. And
okay.
I'm gonna shoot for 1,000 horse. We'll see if it happens, but it's what I'm shooting for.
Can you tell me how you're gonna hit 1,000 horse in a 5.9 Cummins?
12 mil CP3 and 200% overs and head studs, poured and polished head, cam. That's probably about it, really.
What kind of cam are you going after?
188 over 220 probably, by Hamilton.
Nice. It seems like a lot of guys are going after those Hamilton cams. It seems like they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. I mean, I just rounded one off in my 99 though, but it was a used cam I bought off a buddy. So and this motor in my 99, which I'm pretty sure you have some footage of from the dirt drags.
I probably do in the background.
Yeah, but I'm putting that motor in it eventually. I don't know how fast it's going to happen. There's a lot of wiring and stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing there. So I'm just learning as I go.
It's kind of funny that he brings that up because I purchased a LB7 in Illinois actually, flipped in a cornfield, paid $2,500 for it. And essentially what I did is I ripped all the drivetrain out, you know, transmission, transfer case, basically everything. And I put it in an LLY body, which would be an 05 Silverado 2500 HD. And what he was saying with trying to figure out those whole electrical gremlins, you know, in a sense, that's what I was, and I'm still currently dealing with because I have an LB7. If you're following me, you're a Duramax guy. I have a 04 engine in an 05 Silverado is what I'm saying. So the body harness, the transmission control module, engine harness, all that stuff actually fits and it plugs in great. However, my speedometer is good. My fuel gauge is reading backwards on the sending unit. It's kind of what he's saying. He's going to have to deal with that mess, and it's going to be...
Yeah, he's going to have to basically take a common rail platform and make it work in a BP. And he wants to keep all of his factory, because we were kind of suggesting that he take the 3rd gen dash.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking
out of this one and bolting it into.
I've been debating whether to take the 3rd gen dash and just put everything, make it like a 3rd gen wiring harness. Take the whole wiring harness out of this truck and put it in mine, but I kind of want to keep the 2nd gen dash and just keep it all original where you just get it and do it like that. But
the 3rd gen dash, I mean, it would be easier, it would go together easier,
yeah.
But they're just not as appealing, in my opinion. I think a 3rd gen dash is ugly.
Yeah, and you can hook a scanner up to it. I mean,
it would literally be turnkey.
It'd be a 3rd gen truck.
It'd be a 3rd gen
truck.
Yeah.
I think that the seats would look pretty sweet though.
Yeah, the steering wheel I would have to definitely switch though. Them ugly.
Oh, the 03s. Yeah, the 03s.
Yeah, they're bad. They're like out of Intrepid.
I mean, everything you think that you're going to need to go into the 2nd gen.
It's pretty much there. I mean,
and that's the nice thing about you getting a whole truck, because if he would have got a motor, then he
I got this thing stupid cheap. I mean, it really made it nice.
So what you're saying is with the 3rd gen, all this stuff will bolt up to it just fine, huh?
I don't know about the dash and everything. I really
well, I mean, like the drivetrain and the
drivetrain
will bolt right up. It'll bolt just.
And with him having the whole truck, he's got the ECM, he's got the engine wiring harness, fuse box, all that stuff will be a lot nicer than saying, okay, I'm just going to buy a common rail motor. And in the long run, he's going to save money by buying this truck, having everything that he absolutely needs because this truck ran and drove, and then reselling all the old parts whenever he's done. Because, you know, this may not look like a lot to us, but you never know. Someone may need this frame. Yeah. Someone would probably pay good money for this frame. You know, this one's in pretty good shape. They usually rust out pretty bad.
$2,500. So what you gave me for that P-pump swap just covered this.
That's great.
You're not gonna find that deal every day though.
Matter of fact, I don't want the P-pump. I'll see y'all later. Looks like you got your hands full, just like all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping maybe sometime, you know, I don't know if I can meet you up in Van Wert, Ohio, at the
we'll be up there
dirt drags or something. Maybe we can go toe to toe, the 2nd gen versus yours.
We'll probably be there.
Hey,
you and Mason.
That would be cool, man. That would be really cool. What's the date? Oh, September 11th, actually, 2021.
Is it?
Yeah, Cole Motors. Van Wert Fairgrounds in Ohio. I know you have a new truck on your channel, newer to you.
Yes.
What year is that Ford?
It's a 1977 F-150. It had the 302 in it with a C4 transmission, and I bought the truck with intentions of, I really planned on being a lot farther on it right now, but I have some other stuff going on in the background, so we're kind of taking a little bit of a break on it, but I have like 5 videos up on the channel basically of us getting the Ford running. We get it running, pull it in the shop, lift the body off of the frame, and just completely tear the thing down. I got it to where the cab can roll around on a little cart that I made so I can work on it, but I'm gonna have to put floor pans in it, I'm gonna have to put cab corners in it, and I'm gonna have to do some repair on the rockers as well. And I know that's kind of what you were debating on, should I do this or should I not with your cab? Well, in my scenario, with it being a 77, I really don't have an option. There's not a lot out there for you know, finding a different cab. But I think it's going to be really cool when it's done.
You're telling me that you're gonna put a Cummins in a 77 Ford truck.
Yeah, you could say that, but it's more like I'm
That's
putting
cool.
a Ford on a Cummins.
Gotcha. So why not a square body Chevy?
I'm not brand biased at all. If I could have found a good deal on a square body, I would have for sure. But
So you guys see, I'm not the only one that's restoring these trucks. We have Derek here obviously doing it with his truck, and then of course we have Dylan doing it on his. So it's pretty cool that we can actually document it. So make sure you check out his channel, make sure you follow his build as well.
Appreciate it.
Okay guys, so we are completely done with this video. Again, make sure you check him out, and then if you're considering an AirDog lift pump, make sure you check out PureFlow AirDog. Also follow them on Instagram. I'm hoping to do a few more giveaways here in the near future this year with some of their lift pumps. So if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you do that. It's going to be at PureFlow AirDog, as well as myself. It's going to be at truck_master07. But again, guys, I can't thank you enough. Let me know what you think about the Dodge content, the Cummins content. I'm really excited about it, and I think it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. It's actually easier, in my opinion, to work on these motors than it would be a Duramax. And this would be my as a matter of fact, I just tore it down. I pulled the pistons, the rods, everything, the cam, all that stuff came out, and I did that in my garage with really no help. I'd like to say a big shout out to Dylan for all the help that he's given me, the support as far as giving me the pointers of what I need to do for this build. And I also want to give a big shout out to Mitchell, my brother-in-law as well. Anytime I have questions, I usually reach out to these guys, and they've just been extremely helpful. So thanks again, man. And hopefully we can rip it up in September.
Yeah, hopefully the world starts becoming a more friendly place, and we can all get together and have a good truck meet again, like we did last time.
Yeah, well, we're still gonna make it normal there, regardless.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much. We'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.